Hello everyone, this is Yalda from Eat, Burn, Sleep, the online low inflammation, gut health and sustained weight loss platform. If you follow me on my social media, you probably know that I love learning, discovering new things, meeting passionate individuals. So I have decided to launch this podcast where I interview amazing people. We're going to be talking about physical health, mental health, well-being, with people who are passionate about what they do and who strive for excellence. I hope you learn from it and you enjoy it. Let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome back to another live. Today we're going to talk about the benefits of a low inflammation lifestyle. Many people have actually asked me if I could share these lives on my podcast. So I'm recording this live here at the same time. So it will be on my podcast soon as well. So you can listen to my lives when you're walking and you don't necessarily want to have the Instagram application or IGTV on. I hope everyone's well. Happy Monday. I hope you had a lovely weekend. I get this question a lot. Many people who feel they do not have health issues ask me if they would benefit from following a low inflammation lifestyle. So I thought, you know what, this is a great way to kick off the week and explain a little bit more how it can, impact your life, in which way it would be beneficial for you to do that, what it can prevent or what kind of changes you could see, within the space of 6 weeks in your life. I'm just going to wait a little bit for more of you to join. I can see already quite a few people. I love our lives and I love talking to you. I love explaining things to you. So thank you for showing up and showing so much interest every week. Someone saying Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. We actually celebrated Mother's Day in the UK back in March. But everywhere else in the world, it was yesterday. And I happened to be with my boys yesterday. I had actually a really nice day. We played cricket in the park. We baked. We played Scrabble. We watched movies. We had fun. Really nice time. If you feel you do not have any health issue, but you're following me, the first thing is you clearly have an interest in keeping healthy, staying healthy, maybe improving the way you feel. Even if you don't feel awful, you might want to feel even better. And that's basically called aiming for optimal health levels. So whenever I refer to optimal health, what I mean by that, it's not a standard per se. It's very much it's very subjective to your own circumstances, to your age, to where you live, to how you're feeling, to the kind of lifestyle you have, to the demands of your lifestyle, to the stress levels you have, to the genetics you were born with, to the microbiome you were born with and developed over time. And it's very much about how to feel your best. That's the best way to describe what optimal health levels are, is how to feel your best. So many people who embark on the lifestyle tell me that they look the best they ever looked, but truly the reason why they look so well is because they're feeling much better. And when we lower chronic inflammation, even if we don't have any health issues, the first thing that it does in the short term is increase our energy levels. Energy is, we can have quite low energy levels if our diet, if our lifestyle is stressful. So when it comes to diet, it is very important to give our body the right nutrients, to have a strong gut flora, because that impacts your immunity. It impacts the neurotransmitters which are produced in your gut, like serotonin, GABA, melatonin. It impacts your sleep and as a result, your energy levels. It impacts your hormones, whether you're a man or a woman, and as a result, your energy levels. It impacts your endocrine response. So for example, if you have very unstable blood sugar levels, that's going to also affect your cortisol levels, your adrenaline levels, and your energy levels. So following a low inflammation lifestyle from a food standpoint can have a huge impact on your energy levels. It can have as well an impact on your mental well-being. Again, it is all linked because you're producing certain hormones, your mood will change, the way you think changes. 60% of your neurotransmitters are located in your gut. 90% of the serotonin is produced in the gut. So that will change your mental wellness as well. And you might see an improvement in body composition. What I mean by that is when you follow the eat, burn, sleep lifestyle, you're eating foods which are supporting your soft tissues, your bones, your muscles, your skin. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm getting the eat, burn, sleep glow. That's very much linked. And your body might become, stronger because of the things you're feeding your body. So it's not just the exercise. Of course, exercise is part of the lifestyle that greatly influences your energy levels. It influences your liver detoxification pathways. It influences your mental wellness, going for a walk in the fresh air regularly, getting that vitamin D. All of that will influence the way you feel and the way you look. So do you need to have a health problem to embark on a low inflammation lifestyle? Absolutely not. So a low inflammation lifestyle can make you feel better, greater energy levels, better mood, better sleep, better skin, better body composition, just feeling that you're the best version of yourself. And this is in the short run. But in the long term, and this is super, super, super important actually, as I've spoken about many times, what chronic inflammation does is it switches on your poor genes, your weaker genes. So if in your family there's a history of hormonal issues or autoimmune disease or heart attacks or diabetes or, Alzheimer's or cancer, all of this is linked to chronic inflammation. Basically, any disease you cannot transmit is linked. The expression of those genes will be dependent on the levels of chronic inflammation in your body. So such a lifestyle plays a huge role when it comes to prevention. It really helps people preventing potential health issues. And for someone, I'll give you a very simple example. For someone like me, because I have autoimmunity in my family, this is my weak gene. When I had inflammation running in my body, I developed a first autoimmune disease, and then I developed a second one. And I quickly realized that a lot of people who have one autoimmune disease sometimes can have 2, 3, 4, 5. You can develop so many of them. You can go and have Hashimoto's and MS and colitis and maybe cancer because it's a form of autoimmunity. I mean, awful. When I realized this pretty early on in my journey, I thought, oh my goodness, I need to stop this hemorrhage. I need to stop this bleed. I need to make sure I'm getting better because I'm being given all this medication, and what it does, it's like a building that has cracks everywhere, and you just put a bit of plaster on each crack, but we're not fixing the foundations, so more cracks will continue to appear. And I thought to myself, I'm so young and I already have these health issues. I need to fix the foundation so I do not develop more. Autoimmunity, like in my case, expresses itself pretty young in people generally. But other issues like heart attacks, cancer, they express themselves later on in life. And by the time it comes, it's almost too late. You're so inflamed and you've been inflamed for a long time. And when people are sick, and I have been there, some people are lucky where they reverse the disease pretty quickly, and we've had amazing results on the lifestyle. For me, it was not a quick fix. It was a long journey. So it depends on people. You can't just think, oh, when I have a problem, I'll just go on the low inflammation lifestyle, because it can take a long time. So the prevention side is huge. There is so much misinformation when it comes to health out there right now. Frankly, had I found Eat, Burn, Sleep when I was sick, it would have saved me quite a few years of pain. So that's why I created this, is to help other people. Don't jump on fads, someone sent me a message last week talking to me about someone who heals people with a pure sugar diet. There are a lot of fads out there. Please just get rid of them. Do not listen to that stuff. If anything doesn't make sense from a common sense standpoint, it probably isn't right. This method is about structured moderation. It's what moderation looks like in real life. And if you feel you can't commit to it, like the 80-20, the way I share it, at least understanding what your choices are. So when you're making a choice, if it's truly inflammatory or truly anti-inflammatory. And you can adjust depending on, do you have time? Are you in the right frame of mind? Can you do it 60-40, maybe 70-30, maybe bang, you've got a week ahead of you, so you're going to go for the liver detox and reset your system. So that's how it can help somebody who feels they don't have health issues. In fact, I would strongly suggest to most people to do a liver detoxification the way I share it on the platform twice a year. Around what I like is springtime and autumn. That's how I do it. But sometimes you feel really awful in the middle of winter or summer and you want to do your detox then fine. But it's always good to detoxify the liver, which is an organ that's responsible for over 500 functions in the body. It is an organ that's responsible for fat burning, lipolysis, for hormone homeostasis, which is hormonal balance. It's responsible for blood production. It's responsible for so many things, for gene expression, for, removing toxins from the body, from processing anything you put inside your body. So don't wait until you feel unwell or you've gained a lot of weight to, lower your chronic inflammation. Do you have any questions? I'm just going to read through the comments. It's nice to see so many of you. I really enjoy our lives. Do you have any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to learn about how the platform works? I get so many questions. I have quite a few new followers. The platform works, it's an annual membership, and you get a part which is to do with food, with very flexible food lists. So if you want to have something very structured, you can do the Reboot and Revive week, which tells you exactly your meals and your workouts and your meditations and your shopping list and all of that. But you can also, if you're someone who doesn't like to structure things and like to go out, eat out, as long as you follow the food lists and the eating out advice, you're totally fine. You get a mental wellness section with daily meditation routines. There's a movement section where I share with you my low inflammation workouts. On the premium membership, you have a masterclass series with 6 masterclasses. After watching those, you should, get to understand pretty much everything you need to know as a starter pack when it comes to chronic inflammation, the influence when it comes to mental health, physical health. And there is also a whole section called Specialized Advice section where I keep adding bits of research. And in that, you've got goals or specific issues that people want to target. Like, let's say people who have PCOS, there is a section on that. Psoriasis, eczema, hormonal issues, acne, perimenopause, thyroid issues. I created a section for people with acidity, with hiatus hernia. I created a section for liver detoxification. I created a section for people who have suffered from COVID or who have long COVID. All of that. And I keep adding to it. There is much more. There's advice for when you travel, advice for people who have unusual eating hours. There's advice for people who have been vegan or vegetarian and want to reintroduce animal protein, and I take them through a very gentle process so they don't shock their bodies. There is advice for people with colitis, Crohn's, diverticulitis, celiac disease, IBS, bloating. It's all in there. What else is there? There's so much, it's hard to remember. Endometriosis is in there as well. Someone is saying, hi Alda, do you have breakfast before or after your movement exercise? Also, do you use fluoride water filter that you could recommend? Two very good questions. I tend to do my exercise first thing before breakfast because I find that it sets me off in a very good way for the day. I use my movement like a form of meditation as well. Apart from when I film it for you, I'm with you, and I'm talking. But if I'm not, and when I'm talking to you, it's really what goes on through my head when I do it by myself. But when I'm not, I'm just doing it in silence, early in the morning, because when you wake up, your brain is still, between kind of sleep and daytime. It's quite important not to jump on your phone and not to see screens right away and use that time to gently immerse. So if you have time, or if you can wake up 30 minutes earlier and do that, it's a great way to start the day. And also, then it's not I find it's not on my mind all day where I'm like, oh my God, I need to do my movement. It's behind me. Like, it's in the morning. I've done my movement. I've showered. I've brushed my teeth. All done. Then I have breakfast. The second question about the filter. Yes, I have a filter that filters fluoride, as well as hormones. And it's a Berkey filter, Berkey water filter. It's an American brand, but they have a website in the UK and I've ordered it here. Tequila Mama is saying, what about supplements for inflammation? So diet is really the first thing, not just diet. It's the food, movement, and mental wellness, the three things that will impact it the most. But on top of that, I give you supplement advice for when applicable, and it's all shared on the platform. Someone is saying, how does the membership work? So the way it works, once you access the website, you access a lot of information. So it's an annual subscription. There is a monthly payment option, but it's actually more expensive than if you pay upfront. So I would, I forgot the price in dollars, but in pounds, I think it's $2.99 for the entire year for the premium subscription. And that gives you one-on-one support, that gives you food lists, that gives you weekly movement videos, that gives you meditation videos. I mean, in terms of how much you're getting for that all year long, one-on-one support through the Facebook group, it's, I'm hoping it's good value. Do you have a section for emotional eating? Yes, I do. I've written a whole thing and I have filmed videos in the mental wellness section about emotional eating, because this is something that is pretty huge when it comes to staying in a good space to stick with healthy choices. And I show you why it happens, the reasons for it, how to reduce it. And it's not just in that section that is going to help you with emotional eating. It's also the way the meals are structured and the food timing, which reduces cravings in people. By rebalancing the gut bacteria, by giving you the nutrients you need, it reduces the occurrence of emotional eating episodes a lot. And I've had this comment quite a few times. I had a lady, Hortense, who left. Really, I mean, I remember her name because that review was so powerful. She's had her relationship with food has been off. I mean, she had huge issues for many, many years, and the lifestyle has helped her build a healthy relationship with food. Food is not the enemy. Food is a source of life. Food is joy. Food is life. The problem is food has changed, and the abundance of food has changed around us. And a lot of the foods that were presented is not nutrition, but is actually anti-nutrition. It wipes out good bacteria in our guts. It makes us feel awful. It makes us crave for more junk foods, which are not nutritious, so they're not really foods. As a result, it's completely messed us up in our heads. So the relationship with food can be quite tricky. Once you come to giving your body the right foods in the right amounts at the right time, and you do your meditation routines morning and evening the way I share them to rewire your subconscious brain and support you in your efforts to keeping a healthy lifestyle, that generally yields amazing results. Someone is saying, what are your thoughts on sleeping next to the phone and its impact on overall health? Well, I talk about this on the platform. And I suggest to put the phone in the kitchen or wherever you like. I put mine, I say in the kitchen because that's where I like to leave mine. I see a difference in my sleep when it's in my room, even when it's far away from my bedside table. But if it's on my bedside table, it's the worst sleep. I don't know what comes out of that phone, but I have noticed maybe it's in our heads, we know the phone is there, but I've noticed a huge difference in the quality of sleep when I leave my phone outside my bedroom. And before going to bed, I wind down and I read a real book, not a Kindle, a real book. I have quite a few books stacked up on my bedside table. Any more questions to do with the topic of the day? I've received so many amazing reviews. I just want to say thank you. And also, continue leaving me reviews and send me pictures of you, either by DMs or by email or emailing the support at eatburnsleep.com, because I love putting a face on the words. It makes me really happy. Someone is saying it makes a major difference in sleep quality placing the phone outside the bedroom. Yes, absolutely. Someone's asking me questions about salt. Salt, all my advice on salt is on the platform. But as a quick, one little tip, the body knows when we need more sodium or minerals or not, as long as we don't eat processed foods. When we eat processed foods, we can definitely have more salt in our diet because they trick our taste buds by adding sugar and salt, so the body can't recognize. But if it's not processed and there isn't salt and sugar together, and it's just salt, if it's not salty enough, means your body needs more. But you need to stick to the list of salts that I've shared with you on the platform. Not all salts are the same. So someone is saying, I'm so desperate to lose menopause weight. Will the program help me lose weight as well as reprogram my nutrition? Yes, and I would suggest you go and check the reviews. We've had many people who have gained weight because of the menopause, because of the change in the hormones, and who have managed to lose it. My suggestion to you is if you join and you have gone through that, maybe do the liver detoxification section. So as part of the premium for 2 weeks to really truly detoxify your liver, do the liver detox for 14 days and then follow the hormonal advice section. And that should support you into reaching your goals. How long until you see results from an inflammation point of view? Alexandra, where our bodies and minds are not machines, each person is different. Each person will have a different microbiome, different circumstances, different quality of sleep, they're going to start from a different point. But what I would say is, the longer you've had an issue, generally, the longer it takes to see results. But I've had reviews telling me that people saw results after a week when they've had an issue for years. So my conclusion now is actually it depends. I cannot give you a clear answer. Oh my goodness, a lot of questions about specific foods. So when it comes to specific foods, all the advice is on the platform. But also, when you join this lifestyle, there's nothing that's banned forever. It's all about the 80-20. I don't suggest you ban anything forever 100% unless you're allergic, because otherwise you lose the gut bacteria to digest it. So still have little bits, even of naughtier things, as part of your 20%, treat system. for that very reason. And I do that myself. And I'm allergic to dairy, so I try not to do it. I mean, I'm extremely intolerant and I end up having a little bit here and there. And actually, I'm very intolerant to the protein in milk, not lactose, which is, people from the Middle East, if they are intolerant, generally it's not lactose, it's the protein in the milk. So butter is catastrophic. So even that, like sometimes I'll have a little bit of something with lactose in it because I can still process it to not completely lose the bacteria, to digest it. I'm not a big fan of anything extreme because extreme measures can lead to extreme results. And I do not believe that we should aim for anything extreme. We should aim for great health over the long run. Nothing crazy. I'm looking at the time. We are going to wrap up this live. I hope you enjoyed this. I wish you an amazing week. If you want to join, you can go on eatburnsleep.com and you'll find out all about the memberships. We're always here with the team to answer questions. If you have reviews, please send us a review through DMs or through email, support@eatburnsleep.com with a little profile picture. They come tiny on the reviews, but they make me so happy when I see them. So please do send them. I wish you an amazing week and thank you so much for joining today. Thank you to all of you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to go on eatburnsleep.com to learn more about gut health and chronic inflammation. I would really appreciate if you could rate this podcast, and of course feel free to share it with anyone who might enjoy it. Have a beautiful day.